Yo, what's up guys? R13 here and welcome to another Gunpla review. Okay, so what we have here today is the GX 9900 DV Gundam X Divider. Okay, so this unit is actually from the Afterwar Gundam X series, and this kit was actually released back in 2010. Okay, so to make the long story short, I actually lost the stickers. I was actually building this a couple years ago, but I decided to shelve it. So this is how it looks without the stickers here. I actually did not add anything at all during construction of this unit. And yeah, yeah, see? So there's some panel lines here. You're gonna have to add some details. The eyes, the forehead, the V-fin here, the arms. There's some panel lines here. Not that bad. I actually like it. And the seam lines, you won't actually notice it. If you guys can see this right now. Okay, just a second here. Gonna try. Okay, so I tried to zoom in as much as I can, but I couldn't do it with my current camera. But you guys, I'll just point out specific areas where there's some seam lines, but in the distance it's actually not noticeable. The first off is the booster here. There's actually a seam line right over here. You guys can actually see with the light there. Yeah, and there's a seam line also on the legs, but it's actually not noticeable, which is really nice. Bandai actually did a really good job on taking care of the seam lines. Now for the nubs had actually been an issue for me, but it's actually in well placed area that you won't even notice it. Maybe in the leg area here again, like I said, a little bit of sanding shall do the trick. And a couple of things that I do want to point out is Bandai did actually do a good job adding some panel lines here, some designs that can bring this out its full potential. Now, sadly, like I mentioned already, I lost the sticker, so I couldn't actually show it to you guys what the sticker for the divider actually looks like. But one thing I do that I do want to point out is the stickers for the kneecap here, the vents here, the eyes, always the eyes, and other smaller areas that requires details. Now, if you can put actually some work into it to bring out its full potential. Okay, now the next part, let's talk about the weaponry. Okay, actually I lied. Before I go with the weaponry, let's do some mobility test here. Okay, so right now, this booster here is actually the shield, and I'll actually explain to you guys the details later. But I do want to do some mobility tests, how far each parts can go. Okay, so right now, the shield is attached. This is actually movable here, which is nice. The propellers, movable. And this area here is movable also, which is really nice. Now let's shield part here. Yeah, okay. And now let's start with the head. For the body here, the head can actually turn 360. It actually got some mobility there, so you guys can see. And now for the arm here, the arm can turn 360, but with the pack here, it can't go full 360. But you guys can notice that the shoulders can be moved. That's how far it can go for the shoulder there. And let's see how far. That's how far the arms can go. Now the hand 360, definitely. Okay, now for the elbow, now let's do a turn here. Let's remove this piece. Okay, there we go. Kind of hard. Okay, that's how far the elbows can go. And just one straight line, you can't actually turn it. Now, this area here, connecting the shoulders, you can turn it, no issues. Okay. Now for the waist, with the backpack on, it can turn 360, which is real nice. Okay, now the side skirts are movable, but it only goes in one. Actually, no, it doesn't go in one direction. It actually, you can turn it. It's just a little stiff because of the polycap. And front skirt. And for the back skirt, as always, it's solid. Now for the legs here. Okay, so as you guys can see, the legs very mobile. Now if you want to do a high kick, sadly that's, let's see how far it can go, and it's gonna fall off. Actually, nope. Yeah, it's gonna fall off. Okay, so for the legs, it can turn, and let's bend the knees here. So this area here is a little bit bent, the upper leg, I forget what that's called. So it actually got this odd feature here, as you guys can see, and that's how far it can bend its knees. Okay. Yeah, it can do a full kneel, but that's how far it goes. I inadvertently I get to take a picture of this. Okay, now let's get back to, okay, so that's for the side. Now for the front kick. Yeah, that's how far it can go. Now with the back kick, that's how far it can go also. Okay, now for the feet here. Okay, the feet, this area, the ankle armor here. Okay, there's another seam line there, but it's not, no, actually no, it's not the seam line, it's this the front piece here. Now the ankle is movable. That's how far it can go. Okay, and you can actually control the waist here to a certain degree, which is actually, I just discovered that. So it can actually, the waist can actually turn. There's mobility here, but it will show certain areas there's gonna be a gap there. But if you want to post it to certain degrees, it is actually very possible, just like what I'm doing now inadvertently. Okay, now for the pack here, it's well, I've already shown you guys how the pack works, but then let's remove this. Okay, this the other thing that I want to show you guys, this the hover mode like divider shield. I'll talk to you guys about that later on. You can actually remove this part here, polycaps. This actually like not the polycap but part of the frame. You can remove easily. This one also kind of hard to take out right now. Oh shoot. Oh, okay. Something new to learn. See, I'm doing this like hands-on. I'm not I'm discovering things that I'm rediscovering it actually. Okay, so this is part of the back here, movable, which is nice. So yeah, I'm just doing this review hands-on on what I can learn from it. Oops. So this one here is part of the pack. Looks like there's boosters here also. And this is actually a beam saver here. Quite unique. Okay, so let's keep on working on the pack here. Now the next part that I want to show you guys is this one here. Okay, you can actually remove this also. There you go. It actually gets a separate pack also on its own. So you guys can actually put weapons here. Sky's the limit practically, which is really nice. So there's 4 polycaps here. Polycap size, so you can actually put the campaign parts here. You can actually this unit here, oops. This unit here is specifically, for me, it's specifically built to have this, the design here. So you can actually literally put weapons there. You can actually put some Gatlings on the side. Wow. Which is really nice. And there's some boosters there. So this actually kind of reminds me of the Bear Strike Gundam. Yeah. You can actually put some battle arms. Which, let's see. I'm pulling one out right now. Okay. So, okay. Actually, it's a little bit bigger here. It's supposed to fit. Huh. Okay, I'm literally taking this apart. I want to make this work. Okay. Okay, there you go. It's just a little bit stiff, but it actually works. But you'll actually have to sand it down a little bit. Or not, depending on the type of weapon you're going to be using. Wow, okay. I'm glad that I noticed that. Okay, so mobility wise, it's really nice here. Really not that bad. More things to learn. Okay, now. Okay, so you guys already saw my settings here. I've taken this apart, found out new things here, which is really nice. You can actually add custom weapons here. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. And this actually brings out a whole new opportunity for the Gundam X here. Which is, I'm actually looking forward to playing around with this kit. And you know what? I'm actually going to be putting in the time and the effort to add the details to make this unit look good. That's my objective now. This is on top of my other projects. I'm gonna put that extra time here. Okay, now for the weapons, let's go straight to the weapon here. First off, we're gonna talk about the beam saber. So the beam saber here is actually not that bad. Quite unique on its own. Other units have used this style before. Okay, and the next one is the Hyper Bazooka. This is actually a really odd design even for me. Now, sadly, it's just 2-piece. There's nubs here, seam lines can be fixed. This is the actual collar, and the trigger here does not move. Okay, the next one is, at first I thought this was a beam rifle. This is actually a beam machine gun. Yep. Yeah, quite interesting. And the last but not the least, the divider. Okay, this is the divider. You guys have already seen its feature. This is you can actually attach this as the back at the back of the X here, and it can turn. It can be converted into a hover mode, which is nice. And you guys have already seen the mobility here. Okay, so practically this divider here doesn't just protect the unit from projectiles and close range weapon, but this is actually a weapon itself. This is about 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. This is actually what it's called again. Let's see here. The Beam Harmonica. Yeah. Which is not bad. And okay, I want to show you guys. So this is in weapon mode. Sadly, it doesn't actually flip out. You actually have to take this apart. There's two latches here that you're actually gonna have to pull out. Okay, there you go. Now if you try to pull it out here, sometimes you're gonna take out the outer piece. Okay, so the basic shield, let's put this back together. Okay. Right now it's not stable, so you'll actually have to push these two together in, and there you go. It's a shield. And there's the handle there. And when you equip this weapon here, it's actually gonna be kind of annoying. I'll explain. First off, you'll actually remove the handle. Okay. And then you slide the upper piece of the hand here. Then you put it together. It's actually simple enough, but can be annoying, and one wrong move, it can actually fall apart, just like you did. You guys saw. And then to post it again, you'll actually have to remove it and post it, as you guys can see on the beginning of the video here. Okay. Now let's do basic. Okay, it can be annoying putting it back together when you're trying to rush. Okay. And then when you're equipping the shield, there's some latches here. Okay, so you'll actually have to circle that. Okay, and there you go. The shield is actually stable enough, but it actually limits mobility also. Okay. Not as much actually. It's actually movable. And the other issue also is latch ain't actually, it's actually steady, but when you move it around, It kind of swivels that way. It's not that bad. Okay, now the other item that I want to show you guys, the extra, it actually comes with an extra beam saver here, and comes with a trigger hand, right hand, and an open palm, left hand here. Okay, which is actually not bad. So this actually requires some details when you're building it. If you're not a fan of stickers, you will actually have to put in panel lines, paint the eyes, the forehead, and in certain areas. My advice is don't use the Gunpla marker here. My suggestion is use the panel line accent color. It's actually going to make it a lot better than the thicker panel Gundam marker here. Okay, so before I end this video, quick story here. This unit was actually, this is a rebuilt Gundam X due to the fact that this was actually damaged during a battle with Bertigo. It lost its majority of its weapon. The beam rifle was lost, and so is the satellite cannon. So what happened is Kid sells some meal, hopefully I pronounced that properly, ended up, rather than restoring it to its original condition, he ended up using parts, spare parts that he collected over the years to rebuild Gundam X into a different version. Now, this is practically, when it comes to firepower, it's a huge downgrade. But it actually did, Samil did introduce the divider. That's why it was actually called, given the designation of GX 9900 DV, Gundam X Divider, is because of the shield and the beam harmonica. And it ended up having the beam machine gun here and the hyper bazooka. And rather than, and then it ended up changing the back here. Where's that other part? It ended up putting, he ended up putting two propellants here that can last up to 12 hours of flight from Gundam Wikia, which is really nice. So practically Gundam X Divider, it's a downgrade when it comes to firepower, which is kind of sad. But as a builder, this actually opens up an opportunity for anyone to actually customize it. I actually got to admit, thank you Bandai for designing Gundam X Divider here with the poor polycap base, because it just gave me multiple ideas for the future. Mobility is good. You can actually post this to certain degrees here. Even moving this, it's actually just look at that. It's already it already looks good. Okay, so that's all I got for now. Sorry it took a long time. I really enjoyed this. Oh, last part. It actually have its basic weaponry, some Vulcans on the torso here. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so its pilot is Garrod Rand and let's see here. Garrod Rand and Jamil Nita. Jamil is actually the original pilot, and Garrod became the new pilot. Okay, and it still got the system that the Gundam have, the flash system, so it can actually still control the bits. Okay, that is all I got for now. I really enjoyed this. Sorry it took a long time. I'm gonna be adding some details here. I'm gonna work on it, and you guys can follow me on Reave13, REAVE 13 on my Facebook, my YouTube channel, Reave13. Okay, well, your guys are watching this, so yeah, Reeve13 Facebook. Okay, that's all I got. Have a good day, good night, afternoon, wherever you are. Reeve13 signing out.